What's up, guys? Mike Hanley from Hanley Strength, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your macros to start a new diet. It's that time of year. The summer's coming. The weather's going to break. There's a new month coming, month of May, and I think a lot of people are itching to get in better shape. I know we've had a tough month, and I think that people haven't done a lot of things that maybe they should be doing or that they used to do. Gyms are closed. People are probably eating a little bit out of the norm, and you know their schedule has changed, so they might be picking more at home or opening the fridge 10 times a day, and you know maybe you're not eating the best right now. So what I want to do is I want to help you set up a base amount of calories, a base amount of macros to get yourself started on a diet plan. This amount is a perfect baseline, and it doesn't mean that it's going to work forever. It's going to need to be adjusted and changed and manipulated as you get leaner. But this is a great starting point for anybody that wants to start a new diet. Okay, we're going to use my body weight right now. And I set up where you can make this baseline amount off of a fat loss goal, off of a maintenance goal, and off of a weight gain, muscle gain goal. Okay, so the amount of calories are going to be based off the goal that you want. Since the summer's coming, most people want to do a fat loss goal. So we're going to take my body weight and we're going to show you guys how to set up your numbers and how to calculate your numbers with a fat loss phase in mind. Okay. So with that being said, we have some numbers here, and we have men and women. Fat loss, maintenance, weight gain. For men, for fat loss, it's body weight times 12. For maintenance, it's body weight times 14. And for weight gain, it's body weight times 16. These are, you know, baseline numbers. They're not exacts. And like I said, there's a ton of formulas, but this is a great starting point. For women, fat loss is body weight times 10. Maintenance is body weight times 12. And weight gain is body weight times 14. Okay. So to get your baseline amount of calories, you would just take your body weight, multiply it by one of those numbers, okay? And you will get the amount of calories that you should be eating per day, okay? We're gonna do mine, 195. We're gonna do the fat loss. I have my calculator right here. Okay, so 195 times 12 calories per pound. Is going to be 2340. So that's going to be the amount of calories that I need per day to start this baseline. And it's still going to be in a fat loss. So I'm going to be in a calorie deficit with these numbers. With maintenance, I would not be. I would be in a maintenance amount of calories. And with a weight gain, I'd be in a surplus amount of calories. So this 195 times 12, some people are like, wow, that's a lot of calories. That's still a fat loss caloric deficit amount of calories, okay? So with that being said, our 2340 calories, we're gonna break down into protein, right? Carb, and fat, okay? And we're gonna break that 2340 into those three categories, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so for protein, I start with protein. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take anywhere from 0.8 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight, okay? For athletes, you can go a little higher. For the general public, you can go a little lower. For someone that's trying to burn fat, you want to probably have a little bit more protein than the others. So we're going to put this somewhere in the middle. So I'm going to go 195 times 1.0, which is going to give me 195 grams of protein per day, okay? That 195 grams, right, is going to be multiplied by 4 calories per gram, which is going to give us 780 calories, okay? So 780 calories. I'm going to move this down here for protein. Okay, so out of 2340, we have 780 calories in protein, okay? I'm going to do our fat next, okay? And I like to do anywhere from 25% to 35% of total calories, okay? And you can manipulate that. Some people like to go low carb or less carb and more fat, whatever you want to do. If you're an athlete, if you're an endurance athlete, I would suggest staying on the lower end and having more carbohydrates. As an endurance athlete, you probably want to eat a little bit more carbohydrates. If you're doing CrossFit, that kind of thing, you want to probably have a little bit more carbohydrates for your energy source and to replenish, you know, what kind of exercise you're doing. Remember, it doesn't really matter because this amount, right, the total of this gives us this 2340, which is still a fat loss amount. It's still in a calorie deficit, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to do mine. I'm going to multiply 2340, right, by 25%. And it's going to give me 585 calories, okay? When I divide that by 9, because fat is 9 calories per gram, right? I'm going to get 65 grams of fat per day, okay? This is per day, the 195, okay? So we have 195 grams of protein per day. We have 65 grams of fat per day, okay? Now what I need to do to get my carbs is I'm going to take my 780 calories and my 585 calories, right? I'm going to add them together. That is going to give me 1365. I need to subtract that from 2340, right? So 2340 minus gives me 975 calories left for my carbs, okay? So the remainder of that 2340 is 975 calories, and that's allotted for my carbohydrate amount. I'm going to divide that by 4. Okay, protein and carbs are 4 calories per gram, and fat is 9 calories per gram. Okay, so that gives me 240, just about 244, right? So this is going to be 244 grams of carbs per day. Okay, so we have 195 grams, we have 244 grams, and we have 65 grams per day, right? Protein, carb, fat. Okay, now, this is a baseline amount, right? So every day you would track your foods and you would try to hit 195 grams of protein every day, 244 grams of carbohydrates every day, and 65 grams of fat every day. You can manipulate, like I said, the carbohydrate and the fat. If you want to do a little bit more, if you want to bring that 25% of fat to 35% of fat, this amount would be up, and that would take away from the calories for carbohydrates, so your carbohydrate amount would be lower, okay? But like I said, it doesn't really matter as much. The protein's probably going to stay constant through your diet, or at least for, the first half of diet, and then this might start to, we might start to shave. We'll probably shave the least amount off of your protein, and we'll shave more as your diet progresses and you get leaner. We would shave more carbohydrate and more fat off that total amount, okay? But this is a great starting point for anybody. So all you would need to do is recap, right? Get your body weight. The best time to get your body weight is wake up in the morning, go to the bathroom, jump on a scale in your underwear or naked, okay? Get that morning weight. That's the most accurate body weight. Take that, multiply it. If you're trying to lose body fat, if you're a male, multiply that body weight by 12. If you're a female, multiply that body weight by 10. Okay, that's going to give you a total amount of calories, right? That amount of calories is going to be broken up into protein, carb, and fat. Okay, for your protein, 0.8 or 1.0 for most people is going to suffice, right? So take that body weight, multiply it by 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, and get the amount of grams in protein that you need. And then you need to calculate what that calorie is going to be by multiplying it by 4. Okay, then go to your fat. Take 25 to 35% of your total calories, right, that you did in the beginning, and multiply that. Get your amount of calories in fat. Break that down into grams by dividing the total calorie of fat by 9 grams. Okay, that'll give you your total amount of grams in fat for the day. And then with your calories from both your protein and your fat, you'll add those two up. You'll subtract them from your total amount of calories, and you'll get your carb total in calories. And then what you'll need to do is take that calorie, divide it by 4, and you'll get your total amount of carbohydrates in grams for the day. Okay, so that's how you would break it down. Like I said, this is a great starting point for anybody looking to get into a diet right now. And then from here, you can start to shave and adjust those numbers as you get leaner, okay? But give this a try. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me, write them in the comments. If you want to see something more than this, by all means, ask. I would love to help you guys figure out your macros. And a great app to use to start tracking your macros is something like MyFitnessPal. You can start, tracking the foods that you eat. You'll be able to see the amount of protein, carbs, and fat you're eating for the day. And that gives you, an idea of if you're hitting these numbers. What we like to do is we like to go plus or minus. So we give some flexibility, plus or minus 5 grams, right? And plus or minus 2 grams for your fat. So what that means is when you're tracking your numbers for the day, if you're supposed to hit 195 grams of protein, you have a window or a flex of plus or minus 5 grams. So you're hitting it if you go anywhere from 190 grams to 200 grams. That means you're within that plus or minus 5 gram range. Okay, same thing with your carbohydrates. Plus or minus 5 grams would mean that we can go anywhere from 239 grams all the way up to 249 grams. And that means we're hitting that, we're being accurate enough, right? We don't have to be perfectly hitting this number, but we're accurate enough to see some really good progress. And then your fat is plus or minus 2 grams. So that means I would be able to go from anywhere from 63 grams to 67 grams. Anything outside those ranges is going to lead to inconsistency in your diet, and you're not going to see as great of a result. So you want to stick within those ranges to keep your progress nice and consistent. Okay, so this is how you would set up a nice diet plan for yourself. Like I said, feel free to message me or post a question in the comments. I'd love to help you guys set something up. If you're having trouble with it, shoot me a message. I will help you figure it out. But with the month of May coming and the summer coming, and I think with the last month we've had, let's try to get ourselves back on a routine. And I think this is a great way to start, to control the controllables, right? We have no control about what's going on in the big picture, but this is something that we can control right now. We can start to control what we're eating, and so let's, try to do that. So if you want to figure out your macros, give this a try. If you have any questions, let me know. And I hope you got something out of this. Thanks.